Welcome to Money First CEO, the podcast for business owners ready to run their business like a boss and make their money work smarter, not harder. I'm Harman Johnston, bookkeeper, Profit First professional, business coach, and mum of two from Sydney, Australia. I've built a thriving business by mastering money habits and systems that create real freedom. This show will help you take control of your finances so you can build a business and life that truly works for you. Every episode delivers one powerful takeaway you can action right away for more clarity, confidence, and cash. And from time to time, I'll be joined by special guests, fellow entrepreneurs, experts, and real business owners, sharing their money wins, lessons, and insights to inspire your next move. Because when you put money first, you unlock the options and freedom you deserve. So hit follow, grab your coffee, and let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to the Money First CEO, where we put money first and the rest will follow. I'm your host, Harman Johnston, and today we're tackling one of the most controversial topics in the profit first world, or the business world in general, credit cards. You've probably heard the advice, avoid credit cards. They mess up your profit. Stick to cash only. And for a lot of people, that's great advice. But in today's episode, I want to show you how I use my American Express card inside my Profit First business. Without doubt, without regret, and with some serious travel rewards for my family. And you'll learn why credit cards can be dangerous and how to avoid the trap. How I personally use credit for business expenses only. And how I paid off weekly using Profit First allocations. And how you can use cards as a tool if you treat them like one. So let's talk about winning the reward game without losing control. Now, credit cards aren't bad, but most people use them badly. So let's start with a truth most people won't say. Credit cards are not inherently bad, but using them without structure, that's where it all goes sideways. And here's what I see happen way too often. A business owner puts everything on a card to keep things organized and to get points. They don't have the cash set aside. They make the minimum payment or none at all, and now they're stuck in a loop of debt, stress, and interest payments eating their profit. And that's why traditionally Profit First advice says don't use credit card. But here's what I believe. If you understand your numbers, and if you're following a Profit First system and you have cash discipline, you can use a credit card strategically. It's not about the card, it's about the habit behind the card. I've had credit cards since I was 18, and I don't think I've ever paid $1 in interest because I've always used it as a way of earning points and then using those points as gift cards or travel or getting things, and just as a tool. So what is my Amex strategy? And let me show you exactly how I do this in my business. Yes, I use a credit card, specifically an American Express that earns travel points. And the key here is I only use it for pre-approved, budgeted, profit-aligned business expenses. And here's my flow. I use it only for business. I have a separate one for personal expenses. And I use it to pay subscriptions, software, recurring services, the things I've already budgeted for in my operating expenses account. I pay it off full weekly. I know I get the statement every month, but I pay it weekly because I've noticed if I do monthly, I lose track. And this is the secret sauce. I don't wait until the statement date. I have my money date once a week. And that's where I look at what I charge and I pay it off with funds from my OPEX account or operating expense account, because that's where those expenses were already planned to come out. This keeps me 100% in alignment with Profit First and ensures no balance, no interest, and no surprises. And I made that mistake probably the first time where I waited till the end of the month to pay the Amex, and the Amex bill was higher than the operating expenses. And I realized it was because I was prepaying for an expense, but after that I was like, no, I can't do that. There was no need for that prepayment, but I don't know what occurred and I just did it. But so I do it weekly now. And I track my points and use them with a purpose. Because I use Amex, I've been able to earn travel rewards, which I use for personal family trips without touching my personal savings. So Profit First and credit cards, can they coexist? And let's address the big question. Wait, aren't credit cards a Profit First no-no? Yes. So here's what Profit First really teaches. Separate your cash. Give every dollar a job and don't spend what you don't have. And that's exactly what I'm doing, even while using a credit card. So here's how I make it work inside Profit First. I treat the credit card as a payment method, not funding, not borrowing money from Amex. I'm just using the card instead of a debit card with funds I already have sitting in my OPEX. I reconcile my card every week. Well, in this case, I don't really reconcile because I just log into Amex and I see what the balance is and I pay. And just like I transfer profit, owners pay and tax each week, I transfer whatever's the balance of Amex each week. So I'm never dipping into other buckets. And with Amex, sometimes because I have different accounts for different purposes, if I have purchased, say, airfares for an upcoming Xerocon, then I will transfer the money from the travel account to Amex and vice versa. And if I've paid a tax bill, then I pay from the tax account. And I don't use points as an excuse to overspend. Points are great, but they don't justify purchasing outside your plan. If it wasn't in the budget or wasn't planned, it doesn't go on the card. So yes, for most people, credit cards are risky because you lose track of your spending. But for disciplined business owners or someone that follows Profit First, you can absolutely use credit with strategy, earn rewards, and stay in full alignment with your profit goals. So what does my rewards actually do for me? Let's talk about the real reward, not the points, but what they allow me to do. Because I stay consistent with this system, my Amex points stack up over time. And I've recently purchased airfares for the whole family to go to Japan, or I can even use towards hotel upgrades and enjoy little extras without extra spending. I'm not chasing luxury. I'm just using strategy to make money work for me in ways that create memories and freedom. And the best part, it all comes from expenses I was already going to pay. No extra cost, no debit. And if there are any merchant fees, well, as a business, they are tax deductible because if I pay a fee to pay my Ignition subscription for the year, well, I use that software all the time. So it's a genuine business expense. So what's your move this week? Here's your CEO move this week. Audit how you're currently using or avoiding credit cards in your business. I mean, I don't want to encourage everyone to go and use credit cards, but if you have used credit cards in the past and you are good with your numbers and you've been thinking, especially when you see all those point hacks videos on TikTok or Instagram, people flying first class using points and you think, I spend so much money via my business and I wish I could do it, but it's just too stressful, then maybe you can rethink and give this another go. Ask yourself, am I using a card to delay expenses I can't afford? Or am I using it to streamline the ones I have already planned? Do I pay it weekly or just hope I can catch up by the end of the month? Is my spending aligned with my Profit First allocations? So if you're using a card, set up a habit to pay it weekly from whichever account the expense was meant to come out of. Keep it strictly for business expenses. Track your points and plan a reward that means something to you. And if you're not using one but want to, then open a business rewards card. There's heaps out there, and align it to specific expenses and pay it from your existing operating expenses cash, never from your profit or income tax account. So the big takeaway is credit isn't bad, confusion is. If you know your numbers, follow Profit First and treat your card like a tool. You can earn meaningful rewards without compromising your cash flow. And remember, structure equals freedom, freedom to travel, freedom to stay out of debt, freedom to run a business on purpose. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in to the Money First CEO, where we put money first and the rest will follow. If this episode gave you a fresh way to think about credit, share it with a fellow business owner who wants rewards without regret. Until next time, stay disciplined, build intentionally, and keep putting money first. Thanks for hanging out with me on Money First CEO. If you got value from this episode, hit subscribe, drop a 5-star review, and share it with someone who's building their business too. All the goodies are in the show notes, and you can find me on socials for more tips and tools to help you. Until next time, keep putting money first and the rest will follow.